All right, welcome you all. This is Mike Favors, and told you all I was bringing you all content for this channel, and I am here in a space. So I'm going to be talking. I got a live studio audience here, but I'm going to be sharing with you all as well because I want you all to have this information. So do me a favor, you all watching on YouTube right now, y'all know what to do. Hit that notification bell, hit the like, and hit subscribe so that you can be alerted when I come on. And always, what I teach and what I share in terms of financials for education purposes only. I am not telling you what to hold, buy, or sell. I'm just sharing with you what I do. And if you choose to do that, then that's going to be on you. But hey, investing is risk, and you got to have the right mindset. So with that being said, I'm going to be looking at the audience. I might look at you all sometime. I might not, but just know you in the heart, right? So that being said, tonight you all, we're discussing the entrepreneurial mindset. Now, how many of you all were able to look at the video that I posted about the millionaire mindset or the millionaire frequency? What stood out in that piece for you?
For me, it was just the same language as the think, what we just read, the think rich.
Think and grow rich, sign getting rich. Okay.
Science of getting rich.
Science of getting rich.
Language.
Okay.
Basically telling you to think and then keep on seeing your stick figures everywhere.
It ain't my, hey, I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, so we noticing that they're using the same language, right?
Yes.
So what's important is this right here. How do you change your paradigm? Through repetition. The first law of education is what? Repetition. So that means sometimes we think it's not good or favorable to hear the same thing over and over again, but in actuality, it is to your benefit to hear. That's why we put our messages up and teachings on YouTube, so you can go back and replay them, because every time you hear them, something else will come to you. So tonight, you all, a favor, can you turn the AC down a little bit? Okay. So tonight, what we want to talk about, what I want to share with you all, and we're going to open it up for Q&A, is the mindset of an entrepreneur. All right. The millionaire frequency gives you an ability to hit. Now, that's one of the programs that I was in. And I pay for programs like that because, you know, everything has a certain level of vibration. If you want to, you know, get to a certain place in life in terms of business and finance, you got to get on the frequency with where you want to be. So we got a couple of things that we'll be talking about. I'm not going to release them now because we're getting ready to launch our next program. It's going to be a paid program. And we'll definitely give you all discounts and things, those who are in our private club. We're getting ready to relaunch our success club. So that's where a lot of this information is going to be on. But for this video right here, I want you to understand that the mindset of an entrepreneur, I'm going to give you some biblical perspectives too, because you got to understand in the Bible, it has a scripture where it says, go and do business until I return, right? And so I want you all to understand that a lot of self-help motivating people, they quoting Bible. There's no way against the oldest and most accurate document that we have today that has been unaltered, right? So we know the Bible is good for us, whether you read it every day or whatnot. I know what audience I'm talking to, but I encourage all of you all, remember, I'm still Bishop Favors. So with that being said, we go do business. So in order for us to do business, we need a few skill sets. Y'all gonna want to take some notes on this. We need a few skill sets. What skill sets do we need, you all? If we're going to do business or operate in the realm of entrepreneurship, the first skill set we need is vision. Now, I'm not going to go in great depth because I really want to get to the Q&A. So because if you all brought questions about what businesses you have, then I'm going to share some of the things that we got, one or two maybe, and show you how lucrative it is and how we're at a point to where it is, man. It's just phenomenal. We turned $1,000 into $20,000 over the past 4 months through dollar cost average, and now that account is on point within the next 6 months to be at 50,000 and north of that. And you already know when you get to that point, certain things happen. So anyway, we need vision. Now, what do I mean by vision? I'm talking about vision, you all, in terms of what type of business. That's where you start. And the rule of thumb is you want to set a business based upon the needs of the people, or the needs of how valuable do people want what you have. And I'll touch that in a minute. So once you figure out the type of business, what is your passion and purpose in that area? Once again, vision. Skill set one, you got to have vision, which means you got to know what type of business you want. You got to be able to see what type of business you want to be in. Otherwise, you could just be, running in the proverbial circle, which means you got a business, you say your business, but your business is not generating. It's really not a business until you start hiring employees. Otherwise, you're just a solopreneur. We can go back to Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. We have the what? The employee, the self-employed, then you have the business, then the investor. That model is old, but it still works because for the employee, they trade time for money. I don't go to work, I don't get paid, I can't do anything. I'm still bound to time. I have no leverage. Well, guess what? A solo, what was it? What is it? Yeah, self-employed. There you go. A self-employed is the same thing. They're just a glorified employee. They still trading time for money, so they have no leverage. And truth be told, I'm at a point right now where we won't start another business. We'll buy one that's already going because a startup is very hard. So now when you get to a business, big business, that means you're now giving other people ability to have jobs, giving other people ability to make money. And that's when you really get into your business because it's a whole nother level to manage yourself versus managing 5 to 10 employees and people with books, tax receivable, bookkeeping, and accounting, and taxes and all that stuff. It's a whole different piece, right? And then of course you get into the investor. I like the investor quadrant because it gives me unlimited potential to make as much income as I want to. And guess what? This is one of the reasons why myself, Bob Proctor, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, all the greats tell you that one of the best ways to get to at least 100 grand is to get into network marketing. And now it takes a skill set because you got to talk to people. But if you in business or entrepreneur, you're in the people business already. Well, some people don't like to hear no's. Well, no's is how you get educated in your particular area. All right. So anyway, vision. What type of business do you have? What type of business do you want to go into? What is your passion and your purpose for that business? And then can we scale this down to a particular niche? So somebody might say, I want to go into what? Healthcare. Okay, that's business. What's your passion and purpose about healthcare? I want to help elderly people or something like that, right? So then what's your niche? You got to scale it down. Am I going to help just elderly males? Is it going to be elderly females? Is it going to be both? Am I going to go to them? Will they come to me? We got to scale it down now. Many people fail in business because their vision and their purpose and passion is so big that they try to do all things, become all things to all people. You cannot do that. You won't get it off the ground. It won't go nowhere because people are into specific things. So what problem will your business solve specifically for the people? Are y'all getting anything tonight? Okay. So now that we got that skill set, all that skill set was under what? Got to be able to see it. Got to be able to do research so you can see where you're going and know what you want to do. First skill set is what? Vision. Now, what happens if I start a business? This is another problem that I see a lot of young business owners have. What happens if I start a business and in 3 years it's not producing money? But I'm just on fire about my business. What happens? Okay, well, watch this now. You got a passion for it. You got a purpose for it, right? But let me ask you a question. We over here near the beach, and we in Jacksonville, Florida. I got on shorts right now, riding in my drop top, and gonna put it down when we leave. Do it make sense for me to go and get a sweatshop and open up a hoodie business right here? Urban clothes with big old leather coats and stuff down here. I'm gonna go out of business, aren't I? Why? It's the wrong market. It's the wrong place. Now, I travel upstate, go back to D, I sell out real quick because it's getting, they're already wearing mock neck and turtlenecks. Man, let me go. Oh, I just like dressing like that. But anyway, do y'all see what I'm saying? So sometimes our business and what we choose to do has to have a demographic need. Please write that. That's why you have to do what we call write a business plan. You got to look at the demographics and see what it is that you want to do. So that means if I want to do my business so much like this, I may have to move out of a small urban area and go to a metroplex so there's enough people who would buy my product or service. Did y'all see that? One of the things me and Favors found out is even in Atlanta, it was big and vast. Atlanta is oversaturated, which means to square mass, there's too many people doing the same thing. So I don't have to, I got to try to undercut my competitors so much that I can barely make a profit, the profit margin. When we moved to Jacksonville, according to landmass, and with the adult care business, the senior care, we realized that all the seniors from the world is moving down here. So when I tell you all that the medical, in any part of medical, you're gonna make mad good money. Any part of medical down here in Florida. They moving down here by droves. This is the retirement spot. All through four, we moved down here to retire in the sunny state. And if I'm not moving down here to retire, I'm still gonna buy some property. So when it get cold up there, guess what? Getting ready to have the business down here around this time of year. You know, who wouldn't want to be down for Christmas and New Year's Eve with shorts and a small little sweatshirt on? Well, the first summer we got here, we loved it. Matter of fact, it was a concert on the beach. Remember? Look at these folk crazy. They're not crazy. I'm saying, we was like, what? We was gone. All right. So when you have that type of vision, make sure you all that your vision is placed in a place where it's needed. It's placed in a place where it's needed. Now, the second skill set that we need. Skill number 2. What do you have to offer? You say, well, how's that a skill set, right? Your greatest investment is always on yourself. But if you don't know what you have to offer, what do you know to invest in? What happens is, once I know what I have to offer, once I know my purpose and my passion, you all, I then know how I'm going to set my offer. So for example, I'm an author. And based upon what I'm writing, how long it takes me to write it, how much time and energy I put into it. I got one that I thought I was going to be done with right now, Faith 10X. Can't release it just yet because it's more things that I got to add, unbeknownst to me at the time. Now that I see God put us in the piece of teaching on faithfulness, right? I got to go and add another section because it's one thing to have faith, but it's another thing to be faithful. Man, it's the embodiment of the term. So I said, oh, man, that's going to throw me off another 3 to 6 months. But I can't rush that process, right? Because the more time I put into it, the more I have value. So now, based upon that value, I set my offer. So if you have a skill set of understanding your offer, here it is. Here's the skill set. You got to know if you're offering a product or a service. Who can tell me the difference between a product and a service?
Product is something tangible that a person receives in exchange for
Tender.
and the service is something you're actually doing for a person. It's not tangible. It's not, you can't touch it.
Okay. Almost. You need a Hall's mental lifters? You got one? You got $1? See how I set the offer? It's business. I better get it together. I set the offer. It's called inflation. Listen here. Hey, I sell TV. No, I'm just playing. I got Hall's mental lifters on sale for 99 cents a Hall.
Wait a minute now.
The government can go up on you, don't say nothing to him.
And the name. I used to do it. They just don't listen.
Hey, what makes why should I listen?
No price gouging the gas.
No price gouging favors. All right, well, pass out the Hall's mental lifter. I suggest y'all get into that. All right, y'all. So once again, we're having a little fun, but here it is. We're talking about the mindset of entrepreneurship and what it takes to be an entrepreneur. All right. And so we're in that place. Recap skill number 1, you need vision. You need to know what type of business you're going to have. What is your purpose and passion for that vision? And then how will you scale it down to a particular niche so that you can monetize, right? Skill number 2, we need to know what we're offering. And that's the skill set to know your offer. And we said that you need to know if you're offering a product or a service. Now, let me give you this. A product is any item or service you sell to serve a customer's need or want. So when it comes to products, they could be physical or virtual. Physical product includes what we call durable goods. What are durable goods? Cars, furniture, computer, things of that nature. I'm gonna show you how to plug this in just a second. Durable goods, furniture, you know, cars, computer. These are all things that people need. Non-durable goods are essential in certain places, such as what? Food, beverages. So think it not strange. I'm a hip hop head, and you see these rappers now in the culture going to food sales. Snoop got Snoop Loops. Master P and them got rapper bag chips. Y'all remember? He got pancake mix that he's selling and all type of stuff. Cookbooks, y'all know? Water, 50 Cent got water. I mean, vitamin water, seriously. These are our moguls in the culture expanding their awareness and business savvy. And you think of people in this verse that Jay-Z did in that song God Did. And he said, you know, you got to have enough wherewithal to be at the table because the cap. What he's talking about is the ability to have investments in your own company where you're receiving X, Y, and Z amount of dividends. So at this point, billionaire, he did it, Rihanna did it, Kanye did it, LeBron and them doing it. Y'all watch out. Shaquille O'Neal getting ready to do it. And he's bringing Reebok back because he's owner of the company who owns Reebok. I'll rock some Reeboks just to support the culture, right? So the product that we need, you all, or that you want to have, right? Are you going to deal with durable goods such as cars, furniture, computers, or non-durable goods, food and beverages? Now, the services are tasks performed in terms of services that are rendered when you do things for someone. Education, software, right? Things of that nature. You perform a service. I cut your hair, that's a service. I roll your hair, that's a service. You bring your clothes to me and I press them for you in the cleaners or something. That's a service that you provide. Not necessarily a product, because a product is something you can take with you. That's the only transaction we're having, okay? So now the skill set is know your product, if it's going to be a good or a service, and then you can set the offer according to the demand. So please write that down. I set my offer according to supply and demand. So my job now is to make myself or my product or my service so valuable. So for me, right? Sunday morning, I'm a pastor. Monday through Saturday, I'm a business serial entrepreneur. I do leadership, do coaching, do mentoring. I got 6, 7 books online. Favors, I got programs. I'm talking about good programs where we teach and take people through these pieces and talking about mindset and paradigm shifts and how to market, just like I'm doing tonight, as a matter of fact. You know, I just wanted to do this for you all and to give you something to jumpstart you for 2023, okay? All right. Any questions so far before I go through the next 2? Okay, good. We rocking and rolling. So once again, number 1, you got to have vision. That's the first skill set. Number 2, you got to know what you're offering in terms of product or service. Now, the third piece is marketing. Now, this is very serious because marketing is that place to where it's how will people know what you have in terms of product or service? And here's where a lot of people get it messed up because they just want to go into business. Man, I could make some good fried chicken. I could do this. Well, you can cook the best fried chicken in the world, but if no one knows about your fried chicken recipe, think about Colonel Sanders and what he had to do with old man driving up and down Kentucky Highway, taking his 7 original spices to different cities so they can taste it. Think about the old rappers back in the day that had to sell tapes out of the trunk of their car. Seriously, man. Even us now, you look at how much content, how much free content we got to put out here in order to let people know that we're credible in the field of expertise that we're trying to offer you in terms of that service. And you want to know the credibility. So you should be asking yourself right now, what makes this man credible to talk to me about entrepreneurship and business? You want to know my portfolio, right? You want to know that if we tell you in Georgia, the first real estate we did, we sold that house for $465,000. It's on paper with that. You want to know, is that guy? That's that guy. Is that woman? Yeah, we did that. The second one we did in Georgia went for like, what, $287,000? First one we did in Jacksonville went for $95,000. So we're playing with numbers. We know what we're doing, and that makes us credible. If somebody can't show you the numbers, Don't get scammed out here. Folks wake up one day and think, oh, you know what? They said I could make 6 figures being a life coach. Now they go through some 6-week program and they really gonna tell you about your life. We've been doing this for years, y'all. So we kind of just look good, but we're a little older than we look. Praise God. I'm not famous like that. I ain't. But here's what I am saying. We have years in doing the business that we're talking about. The first business that I got to 6 figures in, or high 5 figures, should I say, was actually a cleaning business. I was 23, 24 years old in Nashville. I knew that I wasn't going to work for nobody. I couldn't do it because coming from my background in terms of being a street hustler, I could make $5 grand a month selling drugs. So my lifestyle was already set at a bar. So how am I to go work for another person who barely making 40 G's and I mean 40 grand a year, and I could do that easy at 23. You all see the concept I'm saying now? Now, I'm not knocking that because we need teachers. We need HVAC lawyers and doctors. I'm a proponent of education. I got a doctorate, for heaven's sake. So I promote that. What I'm doing now, can somebody tell me what I'm doing? I set y'all up good with that one. That was a part of my advertising. I hit you with my background story to build credibility. Now, how many of you all from just hearing the numbers say, you know what, dude might know what he's talking about? Come on, show a hand, be honest. You for sure want to know that though, don't you? That's good advertising. So how in terms of marketing, a part of marketing is what? Your 60-second elevator pitch. Please write that down. You gonna always come to it, right? You gotta do it. Why should you buy my program? What makes my program different from anybody else's program? It then happens in my elevator pitch. I'm going to add value and show you how to add value and show you the credibility of it. Now, don't get me wrong. In the day and time we live in, people are selling things. Everybody's selling. I'm going to get to that one in a minute. But in terms of marketing, they use their curvaceousness. You can have a doggone Sprite commercial. It'd be a woman in a bikini. And at the end, because they know men looking, oh, a Sprite bottle. That's advertising, right? Okay, ladies, I got you. You're going to see Mr. Man running, buff, down the street, pecked out. Next thing you know, it's an eyelash that pop on there. Hey, Maybelline. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Do they still say Maybelline? That man crazy. Tell us, Maybelline. Is that Maybelline for you, right? Yo. It's all advertising. Okay, let me bring it home for you. Scenarios. 10 o'clock, you done ate dinner. You ate dinner around about 6:37 because you want to be good, you want to keep your weight right. The next thing you know, your favorite movie come on. But every 28.36 seconds, 28 minutes, 36 seconds, you see, dun, 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 we've got the meats. Hardy stay open late night. Arby's stay open. Next thing you know, hey, man, let me get some popcorn. You see, advertising. And through repetition, they'll make you hungry. Be sitting there salivating, looking at that big old burger with that cheese on there. Next thing you know, Junior, if they're getting out work, call you on something, and you bring me a bacon cheese, baby. Nevaeh, you ever got that call? Yeah? Your mama want a chicken sandwich, bring a chicken sandwich. Okay, advertising. So how important is advertising? Advertising, you all, is the key to getting your business off the ground. Now, here's a little sidebar for advertising. Well, what if I'm not a good people person? How do I advertise? Rule of thumb, you all, my mentor, people like Jim Rohn, who master sales, another person who I sit under in terms of mentors, John C. Maxwell for leadership, but they teach us what we call a sales funnel, right? Your sales funnel, how do you grow your sales funnel? You got to talk to at least 10 people every day. Talk to them. Here's what you're looking for. You're looking for 9 no's and 1 yes. What? Break it down for you. 9 no's. Now, this is why a lot of people don't make it in business, because it's the rejection of the 9 no's. But it's a numbers game. Can I break it down for you? Sure. If I get 9 no's, I now have 9 educational tools that show me what I did wrong. On that 10th person, that 1 yes in the scenario, my scenario or ratio is now 1 out of every 10 I can close. Of course, but it's not necessarily failure. It's just a no. Leave it where it is. We ain't got to add nothing to it. Now, what I would do, y'all, when I first got in the network marketing, I would ask people, okay, well, what was about it? Well, you didn't sound like you were sure of your product. You didn't know what you were talking about. You should have let somebody else do it for you. Okay, cool. What did I go do with that intel? I went and learned more about my product. I went and got with the guy who was in the front of the room. The ones in the front of the room is the ones who make the money and make the sales. Hear me what I say. So that means you want to get developed under advertising. Your best advertising is your ability to share what you do. That's your mouth. So I learned how to speak. I went to the Toastmasters. I went to what's the other ones that we had? Well, John Maxwell, who I went through it, and they taught us very well how to do it through a guy named Roddy Galbraith. But you go Toastmasters, it's another one that's local. The Chamber of Commerce may have some speakings. People who teach us, remember the name. Yeah, it'll come to me. Anyway, I went and honed in my craft. No, I don't know. I went and honed my craft, you all. I learned how to speak. Now, when I learned how to speak, I learned how to what? Present. So that you can have a way of presenting your thoughts so that you can teach people. Because sometimes people don't know that they need it, right? I remember one of the clients, mffavors guy, I don't call him name or nothing, but they just swore up and down. We don't need any help around here. Now, they like 80 and 90 years old. Y'all need some help. But they don't know they need help. So what did we do? The way we work it is I handle the contracts and money. I deal with that piece, the negotiations. She trains the people and employees and how to get them straight. So what happens is I went in and negotiated. I put together a contract. I made a proposal. And here I come in with my ability to talk, ability to market and advertise, told them how life would be better. I started painting a picture for them. Okay, well, we'll try her one day. That's all it took. No, just one. One day with her services and one day without. Well, things work kind of easy, Mr. Mike. Yeah, I know they will. And I like the way you put your contract together, Mr. Mike. It was very professional. These are lawyers we talking about, right? So once again, I had to learn that skill set so that I could negotiate that business. And next thing you know, they start telling everybody about We Care Senior Solutions. So now we got more clients than we have people who want to work because COVID told people they didn't need to work no more. So anyway, y'all got that? The third skill set is marketing. How will you go about advertising your product or your service? Once again, some people use a sales funnel, some people use internet, and that's all fine and dandy. But if you don't have startup capital to pay somebody to do it, you're going to want to learn how to do it yourself. And that's why I say a startup company, it takes a little more. Now, I like going through it the first time because it taught me a lot, which gives me the ability to actually teach other people how to do it. And it also saves me the ability from people pulling the wool over my eye. I know the whole process from beginning to end through a sales funnel. How many emails need to go? Truth be told, if you go to mffavors.com and subscribe, you're going to hit one of my sales funnels. Next day, you're going to get an email. The next day, you're going to get an email. The next day, you're going to get a free product. Y'all see what I mean? It's a funnel, right? You got to touch people 3 or 4 times. Repetition, same way the commercials do. So by that 4th time, I'm going to hit you with a what? An offer. Hey, come on, join my program. I'll show you how to get to 10K a month. Anybody want to get to 10K a month who's not at 10K a month? Oh, y'all don't want me to know y'all ain't at 10K a month. It's all right, man. Anybody trying to kind of chill. Anybody want to get to 20K a month?
Amen.
Yes. Amen.
I got up it a little bit. In order to get to $1 million, you got to be doing 100,000 a month. I remember when one young lady asked me, well, have you made $1 million? I said, man, I made $1 million 3 times over. That was her ability to see if we were credible. It's not bragging, but she had enough sense to ask the question. Can you teach me how to do this? Because I hear you talking. Okay, so let me just show you what this whole thing looks like. By the time we got done, I put on a private Zoom and gave her some treatment and everything. Some people are skeptical, right? And they want to see it. But by the time she saw all the business and saw the things and the moving parts of what we have called Favors Enterprise and things of that nature, then she quickly saw, you're someone who I need to pay into. The first time we launched our coaching business, within the first, 30, 40 days, we cleared about 17 grand. That was back in 2006. Okay. So with that being said, that's the advertising. And if you want to do that, then here's something I'm going to tell you. Once again, we're offering a program. It's a paid program that you got to get into. So from advertising, the fourth thing is sales. This is the fourth skill set that you need. And you cannot be afraid to spend money to invest in yourself. These skill sets, some of them you may have to learn. And hear me, I'm putting this video on YouTube. It's only so much you're going to learn on YouTube before they hit you with the offer. They're going to only give you enough to go fishing, to spark the interest, and to share with you what you have. Now, here's the thing. If you don't want to pay it, don't pay it. But if you need what I'm offering, then you pay it. Is that right? Story. You say, man, you talking about some different numbers, right? 2015, got a call from my pop at the time, spirit leader. So I need you to go talk to this person. It's a multi-millionaire. First, it's a blessing to have those type of individuals on speed dial on your phone that you can talk to them. So if you have relationships like that, don't mess up those relationships by trying to be something you're not. Stay humble. You know you need something somebody has, stay humble. I see a lot of our people in the culture miss out because they won't humble themselves and say, I need some help. I know everything. If you knew everything, then you would be doing it. I don't see you at the tables and the meetings and the business circles that we're running in, because once you get to a certain place, the circles get smaller and smaller. The higher you go, the smaller it gets, okay? So the fourth skill is sales, y'all. Now, you have to be able to close the deal. So when you're talking about business and entrepreneurship, you got three types of people. You have the finders, please write this down. You have the closers, and then you have the developers. Once again, you have the finders, you got the closers, you got the developers. Now, when I was smaller, several years ago, I used to be athletic. So I'll use an athletic illustration. Basketball. Your finders will be the recruiters. They're going to recruit these people. They are people. They got a skill set of talking to people, talking to strangers, scouting talent, right? For your business, your niche, whatever you're in, do you have the ability to find people, talk to people? Present that offer in such a way. Present your product or your service in such a way. That's a finder. If you don't have one, you need to go find and connect with somebody who has that skill. The second thing is the closers. I am for sure a closer. I close, which means if you got something, product or something that you're selling, I tell the people on our teams and whatever company we're in, you let me talk to the people, and 9 times out of 10, I'm a closer. Why? Because I started with 1 out of 10. Then it went to 2 out of 10. Then it went to 3 out of 10. Then it went to 4, 5. Then it went to 6, 7. Next thing you know, my business started to grow. So back in 2015, Pop told me to go hook up with this particular millionaire, and they introduced me to this thing called Forex. Anybody ever heard of Forex? Yes. At the time when I learned Forex, it was a company that was open. You had to pay about $400, $500 and get into it. Well, I took half my rent money, Brother Jeff. And if you're married to a woman like that, you can't play with that rent money, man. I did. Courtney, I sure did. And I didn't tell her. But guess what? I believed in my ability. Within 3 days, I got into that company, traded, flipped that 400 to about a couple thousand. And next thing you know, everybody coming, oh my God, who is this sensation? He trade, he do it. Next thing you know, my company, my team grew fast, and I started making residual income of about $5, $6 grand a month. Then my own trading skill hit. So I'm still making 5, 6, 7,000 trading Forex. So next thing you know, 2016 come around, she's sitting here looking at me, as she's looking at me now. And she came home a little upset. She was in corporate America down in Atlanta, working at one of the big old firms, Thomson Reuters, Deloitte, something like that, playing with millions and billions of dollar portfolios, but it's very stressful. Looked at her, I said, you ready? You ready? I think I'm ready. You really ready? Yeah. She's ready to come off that job. May I? I said, look at this. Told her what I had been doing the past 6 months. She said, ooh, that's my money. No, that's my money. Okay, it's ours. It's ours. Once he tried to lay claim on that account real quick, boy. Needless to say, she walked off the job in 2016, hadn't looked back, started traveling with me. We going all the way down to Miami. We going over to other places, Dominican Republic, just traveling, Vegas, all out there, San Bernardino, whatever. And took her off her job. And next thing you know, she said, medical fee. At the time, I did not know we would be moving to Jackson. But at the time, it was okay. She took a whole year off of everything that we was able to produce before I said, okay, now, you had a whole year to sleep. What you gonna do now? And that's what happened. So when it comes to sales, that is a part of the sales in terms of closing, because how many people in a job that they don't want? You ain't gotta raise your hand. How many people are in a position to where is you're not doing what you want to do, but you're doing what you have to do? See, I don't believe in that. Because with the things that God has given us the ability to learn and teach you all, once I show you how to become a closer, your sales is what gets your business to go to the stratosphere. If you learn the skill set of sales and how to close, I tell you, that dream vision that you have, you could be making $500 a month right now. And I'll show you how to turn 5 G's. The next, 10 grand. 10 grand is a sweet spot because only 15 to 20% of all people making over $120,000 a year. The average median household is 35, 40. And they still jacking inflation up. Still jacking rent prices up. So what are you going to do? You got to learn the skill set of sales. Now, the developer in the company, so I got one who's going to do recruiting, I got one who's going to close, and the developer is the locker room person. So you ever seen a basketball team, y'all, and they go hire one of these old heads, and they bring them in? They the locker room guys. They're going to build morale in the team. They're going to build morale around the vision of what we're trying to do and morale around the front office. So you think, hey, you know what? I know you want to be a superstar. Your salary cap may not be as high as LeBron James, but you just stick around. He'll help you get a ring. He'll help you do this. Go get you some endorsements, so on and so forth. That's keeping the morale up. Because everybody knows if you got a business and you got a team and they start getting upset, they don't play like they're supposed to, which means they ain't selling out. Losing team, sometimes don't put bodies in the seats. So that skill set, and we can teach you, I can teach you more in depth about each one of these. Like I said earlier, I just wanted to give you a brief overview so that you can understand this is the entrepreneur mindset. This is the millionaire frequency. These 4 skill sets, if you take your time, will take you to the stratosphere. Because once you get to the point to where you're doing 10K and you learn how we manage it, then I look at money like a boomerang now, called the boomerang effect. You can have your money and throw it out like a boomerang, and it go attract other funds. So in other words, I don't have to go look for business opportunities. People call me and pitch me all the time. So if you get your refund check, come March, don't go buy a nice car and go spend it just yet. Come ask, what do I need to invest in? And I'm gonna tell you to go look in your closet. We invest in places that we frequent. That might be for another time, right? If I like traveling, then it makes sense that I should invest in travel, right? They got ETFs, certain index funds that all they do is invest in the hotel market. Look where we're at right now. Okay, so with that being said, you all, look, I'm gonna cut this off and get to the Q&As. For those of you watching on YouTube, hey, once again, this is Mike Favors, Dr. Mike Favors. Don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and hit the bell notifications for the page. And if something was said, I'm going to leave a few links down here below so that you can get into some of the investments that I'm talking about. But I'm probably going to leave a video right here so that you can see that about the investments. We use Moomoo, we use Webull, and we use Robinhood, Coinbase for crypto. I'll put those links right down below so you all can grab those links and get in, start your portfolio. And if you want to get into our private exclusive success club, where we're going to teach you how to get to that sweet spot at 10K. A 10K a month equals 120 a year. Once you do that, you can save within 2-3 months and have the money and the funds to invest in some of these REITs that we're doing, some of these real estate that we're doing, some of the crypto, some of the gold. Hey, we'll teach you how to get gold and silver sent directly to your front door. All right. So if that sounds interesting to you, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm put a link up for the private club, and you can come on in and join. And I look forward to hearing from you. All right.